I am so glad you're here this afternoon. Thank you for letting us be part of your day. We have some interesting shows. We're going to talk about Jodi Arias, and we have Jason Lamb on the line with us. Hi, Jason.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, and I trust you are. Jordan Rose in studio. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
And Dwayne Cates, defense attorney who sees no wrong in almost no wrong in Jodi.
Now, I see some wrong, but I am definitely on the defense side.
And also Melissa Johnson, who's going to talk to us about what's happening online. Later this afternoon, a couple of things coming up. Fletcher Wilcox is going to join us, and Fletcher knows everything about home sales in Arizona, Maricopa County. Will tell you how well your home is doing. Then after that, we're going to talk about the 9th Amendment, the 10th Amendment. We're going to talk about abortion and the fact that the Supreme Court is making decisions this coming week on same-sex marriage and how those amendments, I've talked about the fact that I often thought that the Supreme Court went too far in its Roe v. Wade decision. And we will discuss that because it's coming up this week. We'll talk about how that relates to same-sex marriage. Jace, you taking care of your kids today?
Oh yeah, they're keeping me very busy. It's funny, same-sex marriage, it's obviously a controversial topic across the country, but I got to tell you, something drawing probably more emotion locally and actually through cable TV is Jodi Arias. Wow, is it polarizing this country? What a trial.
It is amazing. The ratings are amazing. You guys are becoming stars. You're just on television all the time, and people are watching all the time. Now, you just tweeted something that I found interesting. Jason, why don't you tell us what that tweet was?
I think people are outraged at Jodi Arias, and they're outraged by the horrific nature of the crime. But what I find, Jay, really to be appalling is the attacks that are now being lodged against the trial participants. And what I mean by that is the lawyers and the witnesses. I saw a tweet, and I hate to repeat it, but it makes the point that Dr. Samuels, the defense expert, did such a bad job that his parents should wish that he wasn't born. And I got to tell you, that's below the belt and off limits. And there's such a visceral urge from people to attack everyone associated with this trial at very personal levels beyond the scope of their job. And I've never seen a trial do this to people in terms of getting such viciousness out towards the trial participants. What do you think about that?
Melissa, you're watching the tweets and Facebook. You are the coordinator, social media coordinator for Rose Law Group.
Yes.
What do you see that Jason tweeted about?
I see a lot of what Jason is talking about. Everybody has their own comments and opinions to put in about Dr. Samuels, about Jodi Arias, and you do see a lot of really cruel things being said, but that's just the nature of being on trial. Well, and in this particular case, when have you ever had a witness on the stand for 19 straight days testifying? And I think at that point, you can only talk about how ridiculous this defense is for so long. And then I think you get all these people getting so heated and upset that, let's get on with it. Let's get the verdict. Let's have this guilty woman, die. And
the
truth
could the prosecution have made their case?
Well,
with 3 or 4 questions.
They could have. Here's the thing, convicting Jodi Arias is probably going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. Okay, I mean, she's done so much damage to herself, and the defense is doing everything they can to try to save this person's life. And we had an example last week where a woman that's on death row here in Arizona is about to be released because the conviction was improper and the prosecution messed up. So the defense has an obligation to do everything. But when it comes to trashing the witnesses and to trashing the lawyers, I mean, I don't know any of the lawyers on this panel that anybody's tried enough cases have had days when they want to slide under their desk, where things don't go their way, where witnesses don't say what they're supposed to have. And normally it's not on national TV. And because this one is, every mistake is magnified 100 times.
But Dwayne, should those mistakes have doing your job result in attorneys having to have armed escorts in and out of the courtroom? I mean, isn't that a little ridiculous? You and I are both defense attorneys here in Phoenix. We've done high-profile cases, the both of us. But really, for doing our job and facilitating a system of due process in the United States Constitution, should we need to have armed security? Isn't that a bit much?
It's way too much, and it shouldn't happen in today's age. But, you know, we're in an information age, and this thing has exploded, and from being on HLN, I get calls from people all over the country giving their opinions to me about what they think about this trial and what's going on. So this has really touched a nerve in the general population.
Well, it's become almost, it's a big stage. I mean, this is almost now, it's not a life or death story to most people out there. It's not serious. It's a Hollywood sort of story. And these characters, unfortunately, are the lawyers, and they're the witnesses, and they're the people who walk in and out of court every day, who need armed guards, and who have throngs of people standing there cheering them on or trying to get their pictures taken with them. This is a big social media circus.
Jason, let me ask you a question, and all of you as well. I have felt that the prosecutor, I know that this woman is guilty. There is no question in my mind. I don't like her. I think I'm glad I'm not tweeting about Jodi Arias.
I'm glad you're not on my jury.
Right, I would not be. I would not be. Oh, you're going to do that. Let's see, you're doing Nancy Grace Monday night, and then the following Sunday night, you're on
Monday night. The following Monday.
Following Monday, you go to Atlanta, and you do their jury.
Yeah, I get to argue to Vinny's jury. So.
Oh, that'll be fun. All right, let me ask about this. There are times when I have felt the prosecutor was over the top, and I felt that Thursday, his arguing about the words sympathetic and compassionate. Who cares? He has done such trivial things. Has he or has he not, Jason, made people angry at him and maybe more sympathetic? Could a juror become sympathetic because of the prosecutor?
You hit it right on the head. Experienced attorneys know. You make your point, you get in and you get out. I think Juan Martinez, who is a fine and experienced prosecutor, but I think the effectiveness of his cross-examination, is going down. As an example, if anyone saw HLN or even Channel 3's morning show, I did a little role-playing with the respective anchors and showed how Juan Martinez could have cross-examined Dr. Samuels in really 4 or 5 questions, and it would have made the point. The theatrics, the carrying on, asking Jodi Arias on the witness stand if she liked the Pop Rocks or the Tootsie Pops. And Jay, if you'd like to explain that further, I'll certainly leave that
we'll let it go.
Listeners who don't know what I'm talking about. But really, do we need this type of gratuitous theater? Personally, I prefer, when I do my cross-examinations, to cut with a razor and do it very cleanly as opposed to with a rusty butter knife.
And I have a similar style to Juan Martinez. I'm pretty aggressive and I go at it, but the philosophy is to be short, to be direct, to only talk about stuff that the jury's really going to care about, and be entertaining, and then get out.
But entertaining, what is it? Is it really entertainment? Is that because the TV cameras are on that you want to entertain people?
No, it's not the TV. I do it when there's no TV, because if you're not entertaining, they're not paying attention. You got to get people's attention.
I disagree with you, because you know what? When I cut with a razor, I cut clean. I get the nod from the jury, and that's how you dismantle witnesses.
Yeah, but if nobody's paying attention, nobody knows how you cut.
Oh, they know. They know.
Jason, you mean you've never seen Dwayne with those big shoes, the floppy shoes, and the funny nose?
Well, but here's the bottom line. These are stylistic differences.
Yes.
Okay. And these stylistic differences are really what's being talked about on social media. The main defense attorney, Kirk Nurmi, he is not theatrical. He is not entertaining. But the reality is he's working with the cards he was dealt. I certainly would not want to be assigned a case, and he was assigned a case because he is court appointed, with a client who has made 2 diametrically different statements to police and now running a third defense. I mean, he's got a tall order from the start. But the reality is he's just not that dynamic in the courtroom. And you don't always need to be dynamic, but that's what's turning into the personal attacks. And I think, again, people are losing their focus that this is a process, a system of due process, and Jodi Arias is on trial for her life. And you may hate her guts, but you want the trial to be clean. You want it to be fair and effective. Otherwise, we're going to have another Deborah Milkey on our hands, and we're going to be back here in years or decades to come, and we've got to do this all over again.
And Deborah Milkey is getting out. This is Jay Lawrence. Our attorneys are here. Our phone number, 277-5827, 277-KTAR. If you have an opinion you'd like to share, straight ahead.
Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
So glad you're here this afternoon. Jordan Rose, you're often on Jane Velez Mitchell.
Right.
She's an angry woman.
She is an absolute wonderful woman. She does all sorts of
tough.
things for animals, and she's
All right.
and she's smart, and I think she is direct.
Let me ask all of you, and Jason, I want you to comment on this. Has this prosecutor destroyed the witness, the forensic psychologist? Is he totally without merit at this
These
point?
guys are going to disagree with me. I know that. But I think he absolutely has. I mean, I think that the guy looks like a nice guy to go hang out with or go grab a, cocktail with. But I mean, he just seems like his credibility is shot. I mean, he sends her a book. It's a sweet book. He's seen her 13 times or something, some phenomenal number like that. It's inexplicable. I mean, I don't think it was out of bounds that Juan Martinez asked him if he felt compassion towards Jodi, because we were all sitting there thinking the same thing. What is this guy? I mean, this woman has got some kind of a spell that she casts over men, and even behind the jail cell, it seems that she casts that over this witness. I think Juan Martinez has done a phenomenal job of picking him apart, and I just don't see any way that he has now helped the defense.
Jason, what do you think?
Oh, ye of little faith. No, I don't disagree with you, but you know what? I don't think Juan Martinez destroyed his credibility. I think he destroyed his own credibility by his methodology as a forensic expert. There are things that a psychologist does as a clinician which are very valid, perhaps giving a book to a patient, but that's not what you're doing in the context of being an expert witness. And I think there's a quantum leap. There are a lot of good doctors, engineers, etc., very good at their field, but when you make the leap into the courtroom, it's a whole different set of rules. Now, the real question here is, does Juan Martinez realize that he has destroyed the doctor and rendered him without any credibility? We know with the jury questions, he just couldn't let up. He just kind of had to pound it in the ground. And my understanding is that there's a few more questions in the basket for the good doctor. And here's the real question I have. Does Juan Martinez have the common sense to leave it alone because he's already dominated this witness? Or will he continue to try and get in the last word and perhaps lose
Jason,
credibility himself?
And I believe you hit the nail on the head. I mean, he just keeps beaten, and he gets so far into the weeds, I think he's pheasant hunting sometimes. I mean, he goes off on tangents. Now I have to agree that this witness is not good for the defense. I mean, and unfortunately, there's really no excuse for it. I mean, this is their witness, and I mean, something should have been done.
At
They
what
should have got a
point
new
do
witness.
the jurors say, I'm tired of Juan Martinez. I am really tired of him. Let's go second-degree murder.
Well, what happens is, and a lot of times is, you'll watch juries when you do trials, and I've seen at times when a lawyer stands up to start questioning a witness, the jury goes,
Oh, no.
it's like, oh no, this guy again. And, and I think they may be starting to get that with Juan Martinez. I think they're starting to go, okay, enough's enough. And as far as the questions go, Jane brought this up. I mean, if they're so sure, why are there so many questions? But I heard another person bring up, they may be asking so many questions because they're going to have to decide on life or death later, and they want to be sure. So we really don't know which way the questions are going to go.
And that's That's an interesting point Dwayne raises, and it's something that we've talked about before. Life or death is the real issue here, and by Dr. Samuels getting on the stand, albeit ineffectively for the purpose of PTSD as an absolute defense that is within the context of a justification or self-defense, we've heard some interesting mitigating evidence. You know, the child abuse that Jody testified to, he validated that. These are all mitigating factors, something that the jury will have to weigh in the penalty phase in making that ultimate determination of whether she lives or dies. So the defense is actually getting some mileage through him, but through the back door and for a later purpose.
But and I think, you know, it's questionable why this witness, and I keep thinking, couldn't you have found a better witness, a stronger witness, somebody, just anything? And you know, there's no way they could get, you know, an actual doctor on the stand, and so I guess they just settle for this guy. And I mean, and I'm not saying he's doing a bad job. It's just that the stuff that he's testifying to, and the way that he went about his business was just so clearly not independent.
Jason Lamb, I know you've got babysitting chores ahead.
Well, I do, but I'm going to throw something out there. We got another witness coming for the defense
Very quickly.
this week, Alice Violette. She's a domestic violence expert out of Long Beach, California. But what's interesting about her, she testifies predominantly for the prosecution. She does a lot of work with the L.A. County District Attorney's Office. So I wonder how that's going to fare out compared to Dr. Samuels, who does only defense work.
Jason, thanks a lot. More with our attorneys. Straight ahead.
If you're like me, you probably had to do something hard today. I mean, personally, I hate washing out socks. That's why we made Geico.com so exceedingly easy. Easy to see how much you could save on car insurance. Easy to review and update your policy. Change of address. Just a few clicks and you're done. Visit Geico.com today, because life is hard enough. I mean, I don't even wear socks.
Hey there, I'm Brian, and I wanted to share my story because I think a lot of people can relate. See, I'm a snorer, and even though my wife jokes about it, it really started to cause problems for us. She wasn't sleeping, I wasn't sleeping, and we often ended up in separate rooms. None of the anti-snoring products I tried worked, and there was just a lot of tension in the house. Then I discovered Z-Quiet, and my snoring has stopped. And when I say stopped, I mean stopped immediately. Z-Quiet has really changed our lives. We're both sleeping now, together. We're well rested, we're happier, and I just wanted all the couples out there to know that there is life after snoring.
For a very limited time, we're offering a 30-day trial of Z-Quiet for only $9.95. If you're not completely satisfied, just send it back and don't pay another cent. This is a special trial offered for a limited time in this listening area. So call today at 1-800-304-5236. That's 1-800-304-5236. 1-800-304-5236.
Hi, I'm Bruce Boxleitner. And in a scene like this where I'm getting battered by heat, wind, and water, even a camera close-up can't reveal that my hair has gotten thinner over the years. Because I use Topic to keep my hair looking as thick and full as it did 30 years ago. In less than 30 seconds, Topic gives me thicker, fuller, younger-looking hair. Topic is completely undetectable. It won't run, smear, or stain under any conditions. Topic is made of all-natural keratin protein just like your own hair. Topic's fibers come in 9 shades and instantly blends with your fine or thinning hair.
A doctor turned me onto it. I started putting it in, and it blew my mind.
They're like, oh, Candace, your hairline's so thick and full. What do you do? And I'm like, girl, you need to use Topic. It's great.
Try Topic. It really works.
Call now for your free trial of Topic, and we'll include a free bottle of Topic Fiber Hold Spray and a Hairline Optimizer. Call 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318.
Oh, 7670.
The voice of Arizona.
News Talk 92.3. KTAR.
Arizona's breaking news and traffic.
Now.
92.3 News Time is 1:30. I'm Christina Estes. The nation's highest court will hear arguments this week over same-sex marriage. They'll decide whether California's Prop 8 and the Federal Defense of Marriage Act are...
Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Really glad you're here this afternoon. Jennifer Wilmot is the other attorney Melissa Johnson, who's social media coordinator, what are the people saying about Jennifer Wilmot?
People have generally negative things to say about her as well. The way she talks and her mannerisms, like, okay, let me rephrase that, and then they'll object, and then they'll do a sidebar, and they'll come back and she'll say, well, Your Honor, I just don't know how to reword that. So we're just thinking that she's not the brightest attorney. She's kind of Valley girl. What, are you really an attorney? Like, that's what we're thinking about her.
You know, and that's a shame too, because Jennifer is a really good attorney. She's death penalty certified, trained death penalty attorneys for the county or for the public defender's office. You know, and who among us could stand a spotlight so close that the world could see all our warts? You know, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of the attorneys in this case have done a phenomenal job. They all have their own style, and some of us like one style, and some of us think it's terribly boring, and some of us think other styles, are terribly offensive. But I guess all that really matters is what that jury thinks, and really what matters is that one juror who decides that she's going to go to death or she's not going to go to death. And I think, Jennifer Wilmot looks like an incredibly competent attorney. I mean, she hits every point. But I think
Has she been able to save the forensic psychologist?
No, he can't save himself. No one can save him. Now, and you also contrast their style, the defense attorney's style, with Juan Martinez, who is incredibly gregarious and is putting on quite a show, which I think has been tremendously effective.
He's dancing.
He is, and it's fun to watch. I mean, fun in, relative terms.
If you're an attorney,
it's fun to watch. Well, if you're a juror...
I want him to just stop. I've seen enough now.
He's fun to watch for a short period of time, and he really is. But on cross-examination, you're taught from law school that on cross-examination you're the star, and it doesn't matter what the witness says. You want the jury watching you, and he does that. But he does it to the nth degree.
Jordan Rose, Dwayne Cates, Melissa Johnson, on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Do you owe the IRS? Do you have unfiled tax returns? Have you received a wage garnishment or bank levy? Maybe a lien has been filed against you. OMG Tax can help you with all your IRS tax problems. Don't wait another second. Take action now. Call my team at OMG Tax. Honest and professional, we don't make false promises. If you owe back taxes, or if the IRS is garnishing your paycheck, you need help now. OMG Tax can help you get your life back to normal. If you're serious about handling your tax matter, call OMG Tax now and get the peace of mind you deserve. Don't let the IRS take your next paycheck. Stop waiting and call our team at OMG Tax. OMG Tax has a straightforward, no-nonsense approach and has helped many Americans resolve their IRS nightmare. Call OMG Tax now.
Call 1-800-498-9705. That's 1-800-498-9705. 800-498-9705.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent. We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-473-1394, 800-473-1394.
Every day, I wake up at 5 a.m. to give Dad his medicine. Every day, I wake up at 5 a.m. to give Dad his medicine. At 6 a.m., I make his breakfast. Every day, I wake up at 5 a.m. to give Dad his medicine. At 6 a.m., I make his breakfast. At 7 a.m., I shower. Every day, I wake up at 5 a.m. to give Dad his medicine. At 6 a.m., I make his breakfast. At 7 a.m., I shower. I start laundry at 8. At 10, we go for a walk. Every day, I wake up at 5 a.m.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers for advice, tips, and support. Together, let's help each other better care for ourselves and the ones we love. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Cool this summer with Rias.
Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Jordan Rose, Dwayne Cates, Melissa Johnson, another expert is coming up next week, supposedly on abuse, whether or not Jodi Arias was an abused woman. What can we expect?
Well, I mean, that's the only hope for Jodi, is to prove that she actually killed him in a fit of self-defense. And so far, all that we have is an expert that, if you believe the expert that was on this week, that she could possibly have forgotten that she killed him, even though she remembers every single other detail of her life, including the price of Diet Pepsi and gas in California 7 years ago. But they haven't proven that she actually had self-defense. There's no testimony about that. And so now we have to have this expert come and say she was abused, and this is what would have caused that problem.
Do you know anything about the expert, Dwayne?
I don't, not off the top of my head. But here's what has to happen. In most self-defense cases, somebody attacks you, you shoot them, they're dead. Okay? Well, in this case, there's 27 stab wounds and a slit throat. Okay, so somebody's got to explain try to explain in a self-defense case why this, and this is indicative of a rage killing. Okay, it takes rage to stab somebody 27 times, and they need this expert to come on and talk about the rage. Now, to go back to the other expert, here's what I don't understand, and I would argue in closing, is that Jodi Arias is such a good liar. She's lied about everything else. Why didn't she lie about what happened in the bathroom that night? Why didn't she just make something up? Why did she say she forgot? That's the worst possible thing for her case, is that she forgot what happened. Everybody's beating her up on that. Why didn't she just make something up if she's lying? I think she's telling the truth.
You do?
I do.
Oh,
you're a defense attorney, obviously.
I love that.
Wait, let me ask Melissa Johnson, online, Twitter, Facebook, anybody agree with Dwayne Cates?
There might be a couple people that believe her, but I don't think any of it's true. I think even the parts she's saying, most people are saying they don't even believe that she has this fog. I mean, Dr. Samuels might have put forward legitimate information about how one might suffer from acute stress and amnesia, but still nobody's believing it. You lie so many times, you only get so many chances, and she blew it. And everyone's pretty much saying that.
But who cares? Like, okay, so let's just say we believe Dwayne. She forgot everything. She forgot about killing him. Fine, but here's the problem. A normal person, once they've killed somebody, they're going to call 911. Hey, 911, get over here quick. I just killed a guy who was trying to kill me. Oh my gosh. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know what's going on, but you got to get over here. And that didn't happen.
And then throw the camera after it's taking pictures of him, she throws it in a laundry washer
and drives up to Utah and snuggles with some other guy. I mean, weird.
We don't know if she threw the camera in the washer. She doesn't remember. Okay,
she admitted she put the sheets in there.
Yeah, she did, and the camera was probably laying on the 3 sheets, so she probably didn't do it on purpose. But I've experienced adrenaline blackouts. They happen. They're real.
But with the sheets, what doesn't add up? She says she put the sheets in the washer before they went to the shower. Well, the camera, that obviously took the pictures while they were in the shower after, so even the sheet story doesn't add up. The camera got in with the sheets at some point, so we don't even know what's going on with that.
Let's take a quick break, then we'll go to your phone calls. This is Jay Lawrence. I'm sure glad you're here. Without the Jodi Arias trial, it would be a dull world. All we have is same-sex marriage, abortion. That's all just dull stuff compared to Jodi.
Mac and Gatos, afternoons 3 to 7.
Is Arizona falling apart? Well, a certain part is, but we're not talking budget or politics. We'll tell you what it is coming up on Monday.
News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
You're
You're smart enough to know when a deal seems too good to be true, like a no-sweat workout plan or a $5 prime rib buffet. But when you're shopping for car insurance, it's surprisingly easy to get duped into crummy coverage. That's why Esurance created the Coverage Counselor, an online tool to help you choose the right coverage for you at a great price. Too good to be true? Nope. Just insurance for the modern world. Esurance. Now backed by Allstate. Click or call.
Coverage Counselor highlights options to consider in choosing coverage. Not available in all states.
Hey, babe. I know you're the chameleon with the great eye, so I wanted to talk about the color we painted the living room.
Oh, that new Cosmic Berry? It's great.
Yeah, it's good. But Valspar has the Love Your Color guarantee, so if we don't love it, we get another color free.
We do love it, so no need to change.
Are we certain we love it?
We love it. We didn't love having your mother stay with us for a month.
We didn't have a choice.
We are chameleons. We always have a choice.
Offer ends 10/7/13. See loveyourcolor.com for offer terms.
Hi, I'm Bruce Boxleitner. And in a scene like this where I'm getting battered by heat, wind, and water, even a camera close-up can't reveal that my hair has gotten thinner over the years, because I use Topic to keep my hair looking as thick and full as it did 30 years ago. In less than 30 seconds, Topic gives me thicker, fuller, younger-looking hair. Topic is completely undetectable. It won't run, smear, or stain under any conditions. Topic is made of all-natural keratin protein just like your own hair. Topic's fibers come in 9 shades and instantly blends with your fine or thinning hair.
A doctor turned me onto it. I started putting it in, and it blew my mind.
They're like, oh, Candace, your hairline's so thick and full. What do you do? And I'm like, girl, you need to use Topic. It's great.
Try Topic. It really works.
Call now for your free trial of Topic, and we'll include a free bottle of Topic Fiber Hold Spray and a hairline optimizer. Call 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318.
Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Coming up next hour, a chance to find out if your home is really increasing in value, or is that just realtor rumor. Fletcher Wilcox will join us. We'll talk about home sales in the Valley. All right, I have seen, because I watch all of the television shows, I have seen people say that Jody climbed through a doggy door and fell asleep in bed, jumped out of a closet, that she was really stalking this guy. Did any of that show up on cross-examination or on defense?
None of it did. You know, I call it kind of urban legend. I mean, there was one witness that testified. They asked him if they thought that Jody was a stalker, and she said yes.
I thought there was the one witness of Travis's, one of Travis's previous girlfriends. They were on the couch. She testified that they were on the couch, and she had snuck in, and she was saying she was getting her passport.
Yeah, she didn't sneak in. She walked in the front door.
I think she came in like the back slider door.
She came in the back door. She didn't come through the doggy door like everybody says. And she startled them. She saw that they were there. She was surprised to see Travis there with somebody else. She turned around and left. Okay, so I mean, it wasn't like, you know, it's not like she'd never been there.
And then that night, her tires were slashed. Travis's tires were slashed.
Yeah, and there's not a single person in the world saw who slashed the tires.
I would know for sure that Jody slashed my tires after that.
This is beyond a reasonable doubt. This isn't. Well, gee, I think so. It's probably true, or it's more likely than not. This is beyond a reasonable doubt. There's not a single person in the world saw anybody slash anybody's tires.
Is there anything appealable thus far? Is there anything in this case where another court will look at it and say, yeah, there were some mistakes made?
There are literally hundreds of issues that are going to be brought up on appeal. Most of them won't go anywhere. There are a few, and this expert may be one. I mean, the calling of this expert, the fact that this expert had, that is, you know, his you know, he didn't, you know, he found out she lied, didn't fix it. All that could come back as an appealable issue, and we could get a whole new trial, Jay.
Oh. Well, it'll give me a first hour for the rest of life.
Taxpayers are spending so much money on this thing.
What about this next expert? How much, after the first expert, after Dr. Samuels has so bombed, how much must this second expert accomplish?
I think this expert is really key to their case. If they hope to, get this down to a second degree or at least not life, at least not death. She has to be shown to be so under stress and such a battered woman that at this point she snapped, and it was reasonable for a person of her state of mind to snap at that time. And this is the only way they can do it, right? I don't know what else
it's the only way they can do it. And for all the defense, side that I take, I don't realistically believe that Jodi Arias is going to walk from this innocent.
No way.
A win in this case is if she avoids the death penalty. I firmly believe that it'll come back second degree murder. Because I think the only thing that we can really know for sure is that there was an epic battle in that bathroom, and there was a heck of a fight. We don't know who started it. We don't know how it started. We know that Travis ended up dead, and that could be second degree is an intentional killing done in the heat of passion. And I think it started with a fight.
How many years can she get for second degree?
Well, it's 16 years plus or minus 6 years, and so she would probably get an aggravated term somewhere 20, 24 years.
Oh, so scary. It's so scary.
It is interesting. I have watched also the analyses of the event itself. And there is expert testimony that says that gunshot didn't come first, could not have come first. There was no blood at the gun shop, that she had to slash his throat and stab him in the chest first. He bled out. The gunshot was last. The experts, how wrong can they be?
Well, you just proved my case, Jay, if that's the case, because why would you steal a gun from your grandparents' house, drive 1,000 miles, take gas cans, hide everything, walk in the house, and then stab the guy first? He's 60 pounds heavier than she is. You're going to get into hand-to-hand combat. Your intention is to kill him, okay? You're going there to kill him, okay? You don't just put a gunshot in the back of his head while he's in the shower or while he's sleeping. You confront him and stab him in the heart, which is they're trying to say that's what happened first. That's what you do. That just makes absolutely no sense. It makes sense if you're in a fight.
But so Dwayne, so we're to believe that she should not get the death penalty because she takes the gun from her grandparents' house, drives across the country planning to kill him, and then because she somehow decides that she's going to first stab him before she shoots him, she should get off.
She decided to first stab him when they were in the middle of a fight. Okay, that's the difference. And number one, we don't know that the gun came from her house. They haven't even tested the shell, because the shell, there's 4 or 5 manufacturers of ammunition, and we don't know if the shell found at the scene matched the ammunition that was stolen from her grandparents' house. Nobody's testified to that. That might throw the whole stolen gun theory out the window.
I can see why you're a defense attorney. I understand.
Jay, if you're ever in trouble, I'll guarantee you want me on your side.
Calling, who knows? Melissa, what about does anyone online talk about these things about which we're talking?
Definitely. And I was going to jump in on Dwayne. Maybe what Jodi should do is reconsider her defense and say that she was on bath salts. They had this epic fight in the bathroom that Jodi came away unscathed. They even said on the stand, so you shot him, you stabbed him, you slit his throat, and you came away unharmed. And she said, yes. So I think she should just claim she was on bath salts. She dragged him. She didn't get a single...
He was naked, slippery, and wet. It's hard to fight when you're naked, slippery, and wet.
There was no fight. This was a one-way fight.
Definitely. And on social media, that's something we talk about all the time is, this epic battle that she's talking about, that you're talking about. We're just not seeing that. That just doesn't make sense.
And bath salts
she's photographed the whole thing. She's photographed it. So, unfortunately for her, but you can see that there was really no harm done to her.
The bath salt thing's no joke. I did a sentencing in a homicide case up in Holbrook where the man was stabbed over 60 times and his girlfriend was stabbed over 50 times, and it made the autopsy photos in this case look mild compared to that case. That bath salts is bad stuff.
So that's not even within the realm of possibility. It's not even brought up.
This is social media. They have got to talk about something because
how many tweets are there? How much Facebook traffic is there?
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, it's not millions and millions. I mean, it's nonstop. Especially during trial, I'll be sitting there following several different people's Twitter feeds that are in court, and there's nonstop replies, retweets. Everybody has something to say. Everybody has input, and it's crazy.
And they're not supposed to be tweeting while they're in court.
Well, the media can
the media can, yeah, but not the general public.
Oh my! So the media is in court tweeting their opinions.
Well, the media is supposed to be tweeting a step by step of what's going on, so
Right.
people who can't watch the trial themselves, or they do a great job. I watch it. I read the tweets as a supplement, but a lot of times they throw their opinions in there. I mean, it's the media; they're allowed to do that.
And there is still the chance that one juror will hang up the jury. The chance is there.
Absolutely, but it takes a really special juror to hang a jury. I mean, it just does. Peer pressure so hard when you got 11 people voting one way, and for you to, and they're all trying to talk you into voting their way, and for you to not do it, you've got to be kind of antisocial, stubborn person in order to.
And we don't even know yet who the jurors will be.
We don't.
We still have to draw numbers. Jason Lamb, I thank you for being here. Jordan Rose, of course, thank you. Dwayne Cates, Melissa Johnson, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The trial goes on.
Thanks, Jay.
How's your house going to sell? We'll find out next hour.
If you're like me, you probably had to do something hard today. I mean, personally, I hate washing out socks. That's why we made Geico.com so exceedingly easy. Easy to see how much you could save on car insurance. Easy to review and update your policy. Change of address. Just a few clicks and you're done. Visit Geico.com today, because life is hard enough. I mean, I don't even wear socks.
Do you owe the IRS? Do you have unfiled tax returns? Have you received a wage garnishment or bank levy? Maybe a lien has been filed against you. OMG Tax can help you with all your IRS tax problems. Don't wait another second. Take action now. Call my team at OMG Tax. Honest and professional, we don't make false promises. If you owe back taxes, or if the IRS is garnishing your paycheck, you need help now. OMG Tax can help you get your life back to normal. If you're serious about handling your tax matter, call OMG Tax now and get the peace of mind you deserve. Don't let the IRS take your next paycheck. Stop waiting and call our team at OMG Tax. OMG Tax has a straightforward, no-nonsense approach and has helped many Americans resolve their IRS nightmare. Call OMG Tax now.
Call 1-800-498-9705. That's 1-800-498-9705.